All right, it is that time of the month again, everyone. Not that time of the month. The time of the month where my arms get covered in swatches. I'm covered in glitter. My floor is littered in magnetic palettes. It is time for this month's BYOP in collaboration with Cara from Beauty and the Frizz. I'm very excited to also be introducing a new member to the BYOP squad. I will be talking about her in just a moment, but this month we are all about that transition from summer into fall. For me, this time of year is all about like cherry picking a little bit from each season, whether it's in my wardrobe, in my makeup wardrobe. I'm sort of like, I still want to wear a little bit of this, but I'm looking forward to getting a little bit of this into my stash. So that is really the theme of what's inside my palette today. I'm very excited to share that with you. Now, if we haven't met before, so that is really where I was coming from in this palette that I've picked out for you today. And I am really excited to share this with you. We will be doing swatches. And of course I will be creating a look, which is why I'm only half made up. Now, if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist. And here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Now, as I had mentioned, I started doing this collab with Cara from Beauty and the Frizz. This will be our third edition in this series. We were chatting about how many singles we have in our collection. We love our eyeshadow singles, but I know that sometimes we need some like inspiration to be able to dig into them. So that's really where this came about. We figured that every month we could come up with a theme and create a 10-pan palette to share with you and dig into our stash and use some of our eyeshadows. Now, Cara and I also watch a content creator who has quite the single eyeshadow collection herself, and we wanted to bring her on board because I know that she's going to bring you some amazing videos in this series, and that is Kendra Morgan Official. I just recently have been talking about Kendra on my channel. I love her videos, and like I said, she has a lot of single shadows, so I'm sure that she will have some beautiful palettes and some inspiration for all of you. So please don't forget to check her out. I will be leaving the videos for this series for Kendra and Cara down below. Now also, if you are a content creator and you want to add your BYOP videos, please add them to the community playlist. Again, that will be linked down below. We really just want to have a community sharing inspiration and ways to use all of our makeup that we already have. So why don't we get right into my transitional BYOP. Well, hi, thanks for coming a little closer. So I thought I would just reel you all in a little bit so that we could see some up close arm swatches, and that way I could talk to you about where I was kind of going with this palette. Now, like I'd mentioned, for me, this is really that cherry picking palette. And what happens come fall, I'm totally ready to get into the like deep jewel tones, grungies, all of that. But I also have colors that I realized were in my collection that I'm like, oh, no, but I'm not ready to let go of the bright colors. Or, oh my gosh, I never wore this color and it's so bright and pretty and it would have been great for like summer. So this is that time of year that I start having that FOMO in my own collection. And a little bit of that happened in this palette. So there were a couple shades that I knew right off the bat that I wanted to include in here for fall. And then there were a couple that I was like, I didn't wear that this summer and I really should have. And then there are a couple that kind of rounded out the whole situation and made it, in my mind, a cohesive palette. So we're gonna get right in. I'm gonna be honest, I already did these swatches and chatted to you all about them, but never turned the camera on. So we're gonna try this one more time. So first of all, the first one that I knew that hands down I was going to put into this palette was JD Glow Rose Golds. Now, this is well, it's supposed to be rose gold, but I really consider it, if rose gold and bronzy champagne had a baby. It's very, very pretty. It's very, very molten and a beautiful metallic. And I think it's really going to be nice for that like time where you are ready to have like a bronzy still nod to summer moment, but also into that like fall vibes feel. All right, I just changed the focus on my camera, so hopefully this time the swatches are in focus and not my face. But this is that beautiful, it's a rosy bronze champagne, and I really like it. I think it's going to be a great one to start with in this palette. It's one of those colors that's going to look good on just about every single person on the planet, and I'm here for that. The other shade that I knew that I was going to put in this palette, because I've been using it all summer long and I don't plan on putting it down for fall, is Celesta from Devinah. I mean, can you see this? If you follow me on Instagram at KEEPBEAUTYREAL, you've probably seen this a couple times in looks, because I do have two photos over there that I did with this shade. I believe this is one of the Galaxy Dust Shifters, which is probably my favorite collection from Devinah. Oh, this one is so pretty. And it is so fall, but also bright enough that like there's a nice sunny day and you want something that has a little more to it, you can wear this one. So I don't know if you can tell, but this definitely has that greeny gold vibe. But if you look here on the shift of my arm, it has a like maroon base to it that shows. So like if you wear this all over the lid, it gives you that beautiful dimension and so easily. So I really like the color of this. I feel like I said, it's bright, a little grungy. It's gonna work for this season. Now, to ground some of these shades, I always need a beautiful, like, blurry transition shade. And for me, this is Devinah Zorina. I believe that I've used this in another BYOP, but I just love the shade. It is one of Devinah's newest mattes. I believe this came out when the Halo Moon collection came out, and this is like it is like a muted peach color. I always say the word like grungy because I do feel like it has a bit of like it's a peach, but it's not that like princess peach. It's not like sweet. It's more of that like smoky peach. I'm going there. I've talked about the shade a lot, but I do really like it. So now moving into the dark side of life, this is the shade Cherry from Glamshop. And I will be honest, there's a lot of Glamshop in here. As I was going through, I really just went and like picked out all the pretties that really like made my heart sing for this season. And a lot of them ended up being Glamshop. So, but this is one that I think really is going to add some beautiful depth to this palette. And as you can see, as I'm like shifting the pan, because this is one of their velvet shadows, this has like a nice satin sheen base, but it has tons of micro glitter in it. I just want to make sure I'm not going right over the top of Zorina since it is a little bit closer to my skin color. So this shade, again, it's like this black cherry shade, but you can see, if you can see that like slight little bit of shift, that's actually from all the micro glitter in this shade. It has like a peachy pink gold micro glitter in it, and it is really beautiful. I think it's going to be so yummy for this season. Now, along those vibes, but definitely a lot lighter and brighter, we have the shade Sparkling Wine from Glamshop, and I did see that this shade is on sale right now for like half off. It's like 2.21 euros, I think. I was just on the Glamshop site because some of these are still in Polish, and I needed to get the translation for you. But this shade, I mean, for under what's probably going to be around $3 US, like, oh, this shade is so pretty. It is a shifty shade that goes from like this golden peach into like a rosé shade. And again, it has, I don't think you'll be able to see it yet. I will make sure to be doing an up close of all of these swatches, but it has a beautiful amount of micro glitter in it. And the glitters in it are like a goldy, let me see here, like a gold and a silver, but like there's that shifty sheen of that rosé in there too. So pretty. Okay, now, like I said, this is the time of year that I start to have FOMO over bright shades that I didn't wear in the summer, and this is definitely one of those. Yeah, this is the shade, so it says Sasanka on the pan, and I believe the translation is Pasqueflower, Pasque. I will have all of these linked down below, but this shade is like you took a purple shade and you plugged it in and then shone a UV light on it. Like, you are not going to be able to see. I hope when I zoom in, you will be able to see how just electric this shade is. It is, I just don't feel like it shows up as magical as it is like on camera right now, but so pretty. So to me, this shade is bright enough to wear on those days that you want something like poppy, but I could see this as like if I had this as like a tunic top that I wore with like leggings and boots, it's very like fall appropriate. So I really love this one. I want to get some use out of it. To be honest, I used this one in my live Glamshop swatch party when I first got these, and I don't think I've used it since. And I think it may be the case for this one as well. This is another Glamshop, and this is Acidic. Oh, I mean, really? This is that like comic book, radioactive, lemon lime. So good. I will say the Glamshop mattes are very, very soft. So if you don't like a soft formula, I would maybe steer away from them. This is probably going to be one to see the magic of it. I'm going to have to build up just a little bit, but I like this one because it has some grunge to it, yet it's still bright. Again, I think this is one that we're going to have to do up close so that you can see it. I think this is one that I used in that live, and the color is nice and impactful. I mean, if you want to see it like hella neon, you probably need to put it over a light base, but just over my bare skin, I really did get like that funky, grungy vibe, and I am here for that. And by the way, if these shades are your vibe, I noticed that all 3 of these are on sale on the Glamshop site right now, so you could get them at a really good deal. So this next shade, we're bringing it old school. This is one, I mean, can you guys see the huge dip I have in this pan? This is one of the original Makeup Geek shades. This is in the Spotlight, and I brought this in for 2 reasons. Number 1, because I wanted a really nice, like, reflective inner corner. You guys know me, I need to have something that has some light brightness for the inner corner. But also, I know that Marlena brought out some of the foiled shades in her new square pans, and In the Spotlight was not one of them. And In the Spotlight and Grandstand were 2 of my favorites, and Jester. So those 3, and she did bring Jester out, by the way, but In the Spotlight was one of the ones that I love. So if you want to see, I mean, can you see how much that shines on my arm? Like, it's not quite as like thick feeling as Rose Gold's, so it doesn't have quite as much metallicness, but oh, look at that. So that's going to be a beautiful, like, brightening color. I mean, obviously you could like sweep this all over the lid and just have like a very bright-eyed look. So I love that one. Marlena, please bring that one back, especially since I'm about to hit pan in this baby. Now, on the other side of life, like I said, I always need a light, bright inner corner shade, but I also want something that's really deep and dark to be able to add dimension. And in this palette, we are going to be using Sydney Grace Chocolate Raspberry Fudge. I don't know if it was on, I think it was on the Sydney Grace Instagram page. At one point, I saw them talk about this shade, I was like, why don't I have that in my collection? And I bought it, and just now when I was going through my 50 bajillion palettes, this shade and 2 other Sydney Grace shades were like randomly shoved in a face palette. And I was like, I must have run out of room and just put these somewhere that I had room. So I'm glad to be reunited with this shade, and the reason that I love it, for some reason right now, it's not swatching as well as it did the first time I did this. Probably my arm, you know, I used a makeup wipe to try to get everything off, and so maybe my arm is angry right now, but this shade has a raspberry base to it. So it really is a chocolatey brown with like a purpley red base to it. And I think that the shade is going to be beautiful. I mean, you could buff it out just to get like some of that lighter shade, or you could really build it up. That is one thing that I find, like, Sydney Grace mattes don't always swatch the best, but that's okay. Like, I feel like there is so much weight put into the way that shadows swatch, but sometimes the shadows that swatch the best don't perform on the eyes the best. So it's like, just wait to see them used, and then you can kind of get the quality of it. And if any of you know, if you've tried Sydney Grace mattes, they're gorgeous, they're beautiful, high quality, I really love them. So don't judge a book by its swatch. All right, last shade, and this is one that I did not use this summer, and now I'm like kicking myself for that. This is one of my very first Terra Moon shades that I bought. This is the shade Calisto, and I don't think that they make this one anymore, but hopefully you have it in your collection or something similar to be able to pull out. This is this beautiful, it's like mint and teal, but it has this beautiful shift to it that I will hopefully be able to show you, if not here, hopefully in the up close. If you can't see it here, hopefully you'll be able to see it in the up close. Yeah, you can see it. So it has this shift to this like peachy pink, and it has a bit of sparkle to it, but oh, it's just like, it's so pretty. It's just like a mermaid fairy color, and I love it. And I think that it pairs well with some of these other shades. Like, obviously you've got, like, I think this would look really pretty with the rose gold shades. I mean, it would even be fun like with this purple shade, the Pasqueflower. I think it just adds a little something to this whole vibe. So to me, this is a cohesive palette. You'll have to let me know how you think I did. Let's go ahead and zoom in so you can see up close. All right, here we are. By the way, I have my Life Happens Coffee Helps shirt on today. That's the vibe, let me tell you. Okay, so I'm going to maybe turn the light down just a little bit, and hopefully you can see here. Like, definitely there's a bit of unexpected color combos in here, but I think it will all kind of pair well and be a fun combination. So again, you'll have to let me know. But hopefully now you can see, like, look at this sparkling wine shade. I mean, this shade is on sale for like around $3 right now on the Glamshop website. And then this is that cherry shade. So hopefully you can see like that little micro glitter. Oh, and I mean, hello. I love that shade. Devinah, man, the Galaxy Dust Shifters is definitely one of my favorite collections. Every single one of those shades is so pretty and special. Now let's move into using some of these eyeshadows. Okay, since I knew that this was one that I wanted to have in this palette, we're gonna start off with Rose Golds. I know that the other one that I wanted in this palette is Celesta, but since I do already have 2 looks featuring it, we'll see if I end up pulling that into this look. If you do want to see what it looks like, again, you can head over to my Instagram. Now I'm just going to use this shade like on my inner third, maybe. That's the thing. I want to use up like quite a few of the colors in this palette, but I don't want to look like I was doing some weird deranged paint by number either. And I feel like with these very thick feeling shadows, a finger works really, really well, but you guys know I'm not really team finger, so I always like to go through with the brush, and then I just ended up like kind of smushing over it with my finger to be able to blend that out and make a really nice smooth look. Okay, hopefully you can see that nice sheeny shine. Right now I feel like it's actually pretty close to my skin tone, which means that I'm quite bronze at the moment, but I really do like this shade. Now, also, sorry if you guys hear like sawing going on outside. Jeremy and his son are here working in the garage, and you might be hearing some of that going on. So now I'm going to go into that sparkling wine shade from Glamshop. This is the one that has that nice shift. So I think I'm going to do this because I want to be able to like see that over kind of like the curvature. So we're going to do like start in the middle and then just blend it either way. And by the way, I'm using a Luxie concealer brush. This is the 211, and I just like flipped it over from using the JD Glow shade. Okay. I think I might end up layering this shade. I think I'm going to use this, but we might try to put a bit of cherry over the top. Just put the cherry out here, but I think I'm going to try to blend some of this up into the crease and then also use that Zorina peach, but I don't know, we're going to give it a go. So I want to be pretty concentrated. I'm going to go through with this Morphe brush. This is one of the like few Morphe brushes that I still have, but this is the M321. It's almost like a big jumbo pencil brush, but it's a little bit more flexible. Since these Glamshop mattes are so loose, I really like to tap the brush off quite a bit so that I don't end up with too much fallout. I do already have a little bit, but we're just gonna roll with it. So I'm going to start with this being pretty defined, but I can like blow it out. And I'm taking the Rephr 14 and just running this along the edges here. Let's see how that like, it really starts to like buff and blur out. So I feel like a lot of these mattes that I put in this palette you could really use to make lighter, softer shades if you want, but keep them really deep if you also choose to. Oh, okay, here is where I'm tempted because I totally could put Celesta over this outer part and that would look gorgeous, gorgeous, but I kind of want to keep it a little deeper, so I am going to go through with that cherry shade. So tempting, so tempting. So many shades and not enough eye space to use them all. All right, so I'm going to take that cherry shade on the same brush and just tap this over. So this is almost just adding that like peachy sparkle that's in this middle shade here in that sparkling wine, and adding it and then making that corner like really nice and deep. So I am going to take that Zorina, I'm just using it on that same Rephr brush and I'm just wiping it off on a towel. So I'm going to take that shade here in the beginning. So I'm just kind of like rounding it into the top of where that purple kind of meets. I'm just taking a small pencil brush. This is the Spectrum A22, just to bring a little bit more definition back to that crease. I don't necessarily like need to make it a cut crease, but it just got lost in the buff, I think. Okay, so first I'm going to use a baby pencil brush. This is the Spectrum KJH21. We are going to take that acidic shade and just blow it underneath the lash line, the lower lash line. Can you guys see like that grungy liminess? This has a little bit of that feel like the last Kaleidos, is it the Flower Punk palette? Some of these shades kind of give me that like little bit of vibe, and I didn't get that palette. All right, somewhere in this process, I got quite a bit of glitter fallout, so I might try to like conceal over that in just a moment, but that's kind of what happens when you use sparkly shades dry and you already have your face makeup on. It's just the thing. So to help avoid some of that, I just realized I still have that brush in my hand. So I'm gonna wet this brush and use Cygnus, and I want a little bit of that matte to like peek out from under the bottom. So I'm gonna try to get Cygnus just like really nice and close to the lash line just for that little extra something. Oh, I love it. I don't know that you guys will be able to see the magic of this. I am going to try to use my camera, my actual camera, to take a couple pictures because this is magical. It is so pretty. It's so pretty. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is try to clean up some of this glitter fallout, and then I might do some black liner on the inner waterline, and then of course lots of mascara. I'll be back, and maybe I'll throw on some lips too now that I know what my face ended up looking like. All right, here we are. We did some lashes, we did some lips, we're feeling put together. So deets on what I used. I did use the Moxie Lash Lashies. This is the Lovely Lash. If you're new here, hello. I hate lash glue. I hate it with a passion, and these lashes, this like, they're saying it's like glue-free lashes, but it is an adhesive of types, but it's an adhesive that comes off really, really easily, and I really like these lashes. So lashes, I just got a brand new liner because the little itty bitty mini that came in this set, because the Lovely Lash was my first Lashies lash I got, and this little baby liner was crustified, so I got a new one. Very excited. What did I use underneath? Oh, the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black. And then on my lips, easy peasy, Fenty Fussy, and my Project Pan lip liner, that Jordana Tawny one. Can't get them anymore. Jordana's gone. Sorry about that, guys, but I am using this lip liner up. So here is the rest of this. Did I do anything? Oh, I also did Urban Decay 24/7 waterline liner. So just a black liner in the waterline, like I'd mentioned. I did realize as I was like cleaning up this under eye situation that I never did the inner corner highlight. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and use In the Spotlight by Makeup Geek, which by the way, I did use a little bit on a fluffy brush as a highlighter. I was like, let's go ahead and throw a little bit of this on the face since we want to get through this pan, because you know Marlena is going to release a new one in the new formula. I have faith. So let's go ahead and just take a Sigma pencil brush. This is the E30, and we'll pop a little bit of this into our inner corner. I just cannot live my life without an inner corner highlight. Honestly, like it just needs to happen. Even on days where I'm like, I don't really want to wear a lot of makeup, I'm usually like, I'm gonna zip something onto this inner corner. Like even just as like gentle and subtle as this shade is right now, it's what's needed, I tell you. All right, there we have it. I'm going to try to like get a little bit closer. Hopefully you guys can see the magic of that lower lash line. I'm hopefully going to be able to get a couple pictures to be able to throw on Instagram at some point. By the way, what I end up doing is I end up taking pictures with my camera, and then I feel like I never end up putting them up on Instagram. So I need to go through all of my camera footage and just like take the pictures and pop them on the interwebs as I had intended. So let me go ahead and zoom you guys out. Be right back. All right, I really love the way this look came together. I feel like playing with this palette made me realize it is a very cohesive palette, in my opinion. It's a funky one, but a cohesive one, and it's really just what I need for this like change of seasons. Maybe that's what we're gonna call this. I will be very curious to see what the heck we decide to call this palette, but we thought that it would be a good idea to bring this one to you for this month's BYOP. And again, if you are a creator and you want to add, please feel free to add your video to the playlist. And if you're on Instagram and you want to join the fun, please tag us in a picture of your palette or in a picture of the look that you created. We would love to be able to share that. We really want this to be like an inclusive journey of using all of our single eyeshadows. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me today. It really does mean a lot that you take some time out of your day to spend it with me. I have really had a great time getting to do this build your own palette challenge. It's been a lot of fun. Also, if you have a theme that you want to see us complete in the future, also drop that down in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a like. It really does help me out. Please don't forget to head over to Cara and Kendra's channels as well. I cannot wait to see their palettes. It's always like my favorite to see which direction we went into. I have a feeling my direction is not a direction that the other girls went into, but we will see. Thank you again. I will see you really soon.